From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. Testimony continued today in Juneau regarding North Slope natural gas legislation that could bring energy relief to the interior.
The Senate Finance Committee concluded its work on SB 23, the Senate version of a bill that would empower the Alaska Industrial Development and Export Authority to begin financing and bonding work for a large-scale trucking project. Interior lawmakers have had a difficult time convincing their coastal colleagues to support a project that benefits only a regional portion of Alaskan residents. Before the Finance Committee referred SB 23 to the Senate Rules Committee, Senator Donnie Olson of Nome asked energy officials to explain the disparity.
This legislation provides impact to many people in a positive manner, but again, it doesn't address everyone. However, through other programs, we do have opportunities to positively address folks' energy costs in this state.
The debate on drones has reached the Alaska legislature. Representative Scott Kawasaki proposed a bill yesterday that would limit when and how unmanned aerial vehicles can be used in the state. The bill was referred to 4 committees, which makes it unlikely that the bill will make it to the House floor for a vote by the end of the legislative session.
At last night's school board meeting downtown, about a dozen employees of First Student, the transportation company that buses children throughout the Fairbanks North Star Borough School District, aired their concerns on subjects surrounding safety, among others. First Student bus drivers, mechanics, attendants, and monitors individually described a variety of safety concerns that they say they've experienced. Those range from below freezing interior bus temperatures, overworked mechanics, as well as mechanical issues. The school board members have asked Superintendent Pete Lewis to investigate the allegations. Now, Lewis says he first learned of First Student employee complaints last week and has been following up on them since that time. Now, as we reported last Thursday, members of Teamsters Local 959, which represents drivers, mechanics, monitors, and attendants for the school district, voted overwhelmingly to go on strike against First Student, but will continue to work as union and First Student officials continue to negotiate a contract settlement. The school district has a contract with First Student, a Cincinnati-based company, to provide busing until the year August 2016.
Camp Arctic is an Alaska summer camp for kids with arthritis that had its first session last year. News Center 11's Monty Bowen reports on a local family with a special interest in the camp.
Madison Horenko is 10 years old. She has to frequently undergo special treatments for juvenile arthritis. Last summer, she got to go to Camp Arctic, a special camp that only started up last year.
They do typical summer camp activities, except that there is a pediatric rheumatologist there, which is the doctor for kids with arthritis.
Madison's sister Olivia was talking with friend Martha Hood about the camp, and they came up with an idea.
And we thought, wouldn't it be nice to raise money for Camp Arctic and to raise awareness, because I didn't know before I met Madison that kids could get arthritis.
They aren't thinking small. They want a big name band to come to Alaska.
We would like to get One Direction up here for a concert because we think that they'd be able to bring in lots of funds to help run the camp instead of having to have parents to help pay to bring their kids up here.
If necessary, there is a plan B.
Emblem 3, which they got 4th place on the X Factor this season, and they even talked about how they would love to come to Alaska.
They want to be able to help families afford to send their kids to the camp.
Because it's already expensive to have kids with medical problems, and for $800 to send them to a camp is quite expensive, especially since a lot of these families live out in villages.
People are being asked to let the band know about the project.
What we'd like people to do is if they could write letters to One Direction and ask them to come up and tell them about what we're trying to do here. They also can go straight to the Camp Arctic webpage and donate straight to Camp Arctic.
They also have a Facebook page you can use. Monty Bowen, News Center 11.
That seems like a really great camp.
Yeah, that's a wonderful idea, too, getting that band up here, if they're willing to come.
Yes, hopefully they will be. Alaska's great, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, when we come back, spring break options for students.
And in our military report, taking a look at the Last Frontier Community Center on Fort Wainwright. Stay with us.
Welcome back. Believe it or not, next week, thousands of students will ditch the books for a well-earned week off as the Fairbanks North Star Borough School District enters into spring break. Many parents often scramble to arrange activities or daycare for their kids, and there are many options out there. One growing popular activity is the Winter Extreme, hosted by This Generation Ministries. The 3-day camp begins March 11th at Camp Liwa for junior high students, March 15th for high school and college age. The camp offers snowboarding, hockey, live music, and many other activities.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. We have snow hockey, we have snowboarding. Kind of gives a more active option for spring break, you know, for the youth of Fairbanks. And then at night we have music and a band, and we have speakers from This Generation to just pour life and speak wisdom, share their life stories with young people. And again, kind of like Warrior Generation, give them tools to set them up for success.
The camp fills up fast, and you can find registration information on their website. Visit tgmalaska.com.
If you have been to the ice park lately, you probably have noticed some tall poles with strange-looking boxes sitting on top of them. Now, these are a part of the widespread webcam system that is used all over the park. These electronic devices allow carvers and visitors the opportunity to view live coverage of ice sculpting and other features scattered across the park. The intricate system is maintained by volunteers who monitor the system to ensure the ice park and its ice sculptures are seen worldwide.
Well, the artists love them because their family in Russia, China, a group from Ireland was here. Anyway, and then even our local artists have friends and relatives in other places. They can watch the progress of their piece, and that's what the webcam really does, is shows the development of the piece over time.
It is nearing the end of our winter, which means many people are ready to get outdoors. However, one of the many benefits of Fort Wainwright is the indoor activities that are offered. The new center takes a look at one of those places today in our military report. The Last Frontier Community Center on Fort Wainwright is a place for families and soldiers to gather. Those who live on post know that this building may look like all the others, but it has a lot more to offer inside than any other facility on post.
It's a Last Frontier Community Center. We have a lot of open recreation type activities. We have a parental gym here. It's set up so that parents can bring their kids in and have a safe place for the kids to play while they work out. The gym's got every bit of workout equipment you would ever need to get in a full exercise.
Playgrounds are a big attraction at the Last Frontier Center, and another playground for younger children is being constructed.
We'll be opening up another 2,000 square foot of toddler playground space within about the next 30 to 45 days.
It is known as a family place, but if you go to the LFCAC during the day, the parking lot is always full of men in uniform. With a shop at Connected and other amenities, this has become a convenient place for soldiers to meet.
A lot of the soldiers will come over here on their lunch hour because we're the only thing to eat on this side of post and enjoy lunch. We also have 8 computers that they can use. They can put the CAT cards in and use them for training, printing out certificates, printing out orders when they need to travel or go TDY.
One big attraction for the center is the birthday parties, FRG meetings, and other special events. With a laser tag center, arcade, and bouncy houses available, many families opt to have their events in the center.
We're here to serve the community. It's for all DoD card holders and their dependents. We love having anybody here. We love hearing feedback. So if you ever want to add anything or see anything in the facility and you see me walking around, grab me. Let me know. I love hearing back from people.
The Military Report is brought to you by Stanley Nissan. Innovation for all.
Well, despite the technical difficulties, that place is really cool.
Yeah, it does look like it. I wish I could check it out sometime. But first, we've got some March Madness to talk about. Joe Cook, yeah. He's got it bad. You got the green tie and everything.
Oh,
March.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, in sports, we look at another basketball team as they get ready for their conference tournament, and a special behind-the-scenes look at one of the hockey scenes in Fairbanks. That and a lot more in sports.
Brought to you by the Law Office of Rita T. Alley. Peace of mind through professional legal services.
Hello, Interior Alaska. Joe Cook here in a sports seat for you this evening. In sports tonight, we're going to start off with a story. Since relocating to Fairbanks back in October, I kind of noticed this is a hockey and basketball town. I was raised on basketball and football and played a lot of different sports, and you wouldn't know, but I'm a New Jersey Devils fan. But to get more familiar with Fairbanks hockey, I decided to get a behind-the-scenes look of the Nanack hockey experience, and here's what I found. One of the great moments at the Carlson Center, but I wonder, how does this turn into this? First, it's the rink. The ice takes a day to build up through a flooding process. Underneath the ice is concrete filled with glycol tubes that act as a freezer. The ice is painted at 1/16 of an inch.
And we'll start painting. Paint the floor white, paint in our lines, get the graphics down, and then we continue to build the ice up with fire hoses, with flood, until we hit about 1.25 inches for hockey games.
The ice is kept at 16 degrees and is checked 4 times a day. The Zamboni maintains the ice during and after games. This one's about 17 years old and has 2 operators. Hey, Nannix, how about naming the Zam? Preventive maintenance takes place before the games where everything is checked.
From the venue standpoint, to get ready for a hockey game, there's a lot of troubleshooting. We try and prevent things from happening.
While you enjoy food from the 9 concessions, you may see Matt Anderson, who recognizes veterans during the game. He knows where they are well in advance thanks to the ticketing office. He also organizes the entertaining games during breaks, but who comes up with them?
Anybody. Sometimes the coaches come up with a good one. Sometimes, myself or my staff will come up with one. Our sponsors, our fans, our boosters.
Take 3. There's a 6-person crew running the video board. They can catch you on Kiss Cam with their robotic camera and provide replays and game day visuals. SMG is the company that manages the Carlson. They manage other venues like the Superdome. Some employees work 10 to 16-hour shifts on game days to provide the best experience for Nanack fans.
Just to see how excited they get and to help them have an enjoyable experience. That's probably the best part of working during a game.
You can tell the community really is into every single one of the teams, and the fact that we just get to give back to them, that's the best part about it.
Don't worry, Ice Dogs fans, you're next on my list. That story will be coming soon, but first, this week's matchup is the Wenatchee Wild. If the Ice Dogs win out, they could capture the top spot in the West Division, but they've already secured a playoff spot in first-round home ice. This 3-game series with Wenatchee will also be a Stick It to Cancer event in conjunction with the Greater Fairbanks Community Hospital Foundation. Jerseys will be auctioned off to raise money for the Circle of Hope Breast Cancer Project, and the young boys are stepping up, like Connor Nielsen, a Lathrop and Arctic Lions product. He had a goal and assist in his debut in their last game. The Ice Dogs are back home for 6 home games, and they want to build some momentum for the playoffs.
It's been a dream come true, you know. Like, I've been watching these guys since I grew up, and finally got the chance. And I did pretty good the first shot, I think.
I don't think we've been all that sharp the last couple of weeks or last 4 games. But we found a way to win, and that's what's important.
Just winning our 50-50 battles. I mean, we could skate with them and we could play physical with them, but we just got to keep winning the battles, and it comes down to getting net front pressure and just outnumbering on the puck at all times, pretty much.
To the hardwood as we look at another Mid-Alaska Conference team. The Lathrop Malamutes, the boys team, went 6-0 in conference. They will play the winner of Friday's North Pole West Valley game. This is a stacked team led by 4 seniors, the versatile Gabriel Cunningham, the little big man Tremont Washington, Everett Green in the middle, and Tevin Gladden. And you can't forget about junior Kyle Carlson, who plays like a senior. They have full court pressure defense that generates a lot of turnovers. And for the girls, they're always a threat with their big 3. Senior Jasmine White spearheads the offense for Lathrop. Fellow senior Arisha Talley has a high motor, and they have the ultimate mismatch in 6'2" freshman Ruthie Hebert. The Malamutes will face the North Pole Patriots in the first round. The winner gets West Valley, who we will preview tomorrow. And before we go tonight, here is your leaderboard sponsored by ExxonMobil. 4-time champion Lance Mackey is now in the lead. Mackey is now at the 0 for checkpoint ahead of Sonny Linder, Jeff King, Jake Berkowitz, and Nicholas Pettit for the top 5. Other notables include Martin Boozer at number 8, Ali Zirkle at 11, Dallas Seavey at 15, Ken Anderson at 21, and Alan Moore sitting at 29. And that's a wrap for sports tonight. Thanks for rocking with me for a little while. Mike Schultz has your full weather forecast coming up next, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey, welcome back, everyone, to Fairbanks Evening News. Once again, take a look at the weather. Mike Schultz. Is that. Again, thanks to Daniel Sladen for sending in that photograph. You have a photograph to share, send it to Mike Schultz at KTVF11.com. Here's your numbers for this time of year. The normal high 20 above, the normal low 8 below. A little cooler today, about 15 degrees. Record high 1984, record low 1956. Sunrise this morning at 7:42, sunset 6:26, which is 10 hours and 44 minutes of daylight, a gain of 7 minutes from yesterday. And right now at the airport, it is 9 degrees with our high of 18 degrees today. All right, here's our satellite picture. As you can see, we're looking at a pretty good-sized storm coming in from the southwest. That storm is going to be bringing in with it warm temperatures and a lot of wind, not a whole lot of precipitation because most of it's heading off to the west. We'll tell you more about that a little bit later on. What's going on across the rest of the state? Well, things are clear over southeast Alaska. A little fog around Kodiak Island. The snow is falling across the southwest part of the state. Nome getting ready for a lot of snow. 4 below at Barrow, and Fort Yukon 7 above with partly cloudy skies. Lower 48 weather, once again more rain moving in on the Pacific Northwest and over the southern sections of California with the storm system that brought the snow to the Midwest moving rapidly over to the northeast. You can see the remnants of that moving out over the Atlantic Ocean. Here comes the next storm system. This one's going to be a little bit slower and bring a lot of rain to California, it looks like, because the jet stream once again is going to be taking a big dive down to the south. And that system is going to end up bringing a lot of cold air all the way down as far south as southern parts of Arizona, while rain and thunderstorms out ahead of this frontal system expected to bring maybe some severe weather to the Midwest over the weekend. All right, back to Alaska for tomorrow. Northern sections blowing snow at Barrow, snow in Nome, and sunny skies for Fort Yukon. Here in the interior, we'll be looking at it looks like increasing clouds for Fairbanks and strong winds near Healy. And also over southeast Alaska, it looks like sunny skies will continue for Juneau and Ketchikan. While out to the southwest, we're looking at snow in Bethel, high winds at Cold Bay, and heavy rain at Kodiak Island. And over south central sections, winds around the Anchorage Bowl, rain showers at Homer, rain and snow for Valdez. We have a wind situation we want to tell you about right now. This one is, well, we'll tell you about that a little bit later on after we get through the Kids Weather Watch, which once again we're talking with our kids from Wood River Elementary School. And a young man has a question for me tonight.
Hi, my name is Jake, and I'm in Mr. Cox's 4th grade class at Wood River. Here's my question for the weatherman. When do you think the snow will melt?
That's a good question. I don't know how you're going to tell when the snow is going to melt. Obviously, we get our warmer temperatures moving in toward probably around April time frame. But right now, it looks like a nice weather for this weekend and then cooling off for next week. Okay, thanks to Mount McKinley Bank. And tomorrow night, another young man will be here. And his teacher is going to come in here and give us a cool weather fact. Once again, we have a high wind warning in effect into Friday morning for Healy and Delta Junction. Hurricane force winds will be developing in the canyons later on this evening, and winds could gust as high as 75 miles per hour. So keep that in mind. Our forecast for tonight, continue high clouds, not as cold, 2 degrees below zero. Tomorrow's forecast, 29 above, increasing clouds, and the extended forecast, as you can see here, looking at temperatures to continue right around the freezing mark, then cooling off a little bit by Sunday and Monday, and then a little bit of a reprieve for warmer temperatures. After that, I think some colder air will be moving back into the interior. Nothing really drastic. Daytime highs, overnight lows, I should say, still very nice and mild all the way through the weekend, it looks like.
Hurricane winds
tonight?
Yeah.
No, not tonight. Tomorrow in the around the the Denali Park area.
Wow.
Yeah, the canyons will funnel those winds. Yeah, if you're driving through there with any high-profile vehicles, keep that in mind.
That is a great question by that young man. Like, that's what I want to know. When is all this snow and ice going to melt?
Can you flip a coin?
Well, there has been some melting because the sun does have some warmth behind it, but it just spot here and there, right?
Yeah, it'll be a lot more melting the next few days, though. So keep that in mind. Those streets are going to become really nasty.
But Joe, you will love the summer because it goes from white to green so fast.
Everybody keeps telling me about the summer, so I'm excited to see what it's going to be.
And this year, it's June 19th.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. That's it. That will wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. As always, we're glad you could join us.
Tonight on NBC Nightly News, reports from the heart of that monster winter storm in the lower 48. That's next with Brian Williams.
For all our news, sports, and weather, check us out at webcenter11.com. We're also on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube.
Now for next... Okay, go ahead.
And app.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
For the next couple of nights, we're going to give you some of the ice sculptures out there at the ice park. Magnificent this year. A lot of fun, so be sure and check it out. But we'll leave you with that, and we'll see you back here at 11.